We have to make the hidden math visible because when the math stays hidden, the community stays dependent. Now imagine if every farming community had access to simple weekly market education. Imagine if a local radio, podcast, WhatsApp groups, YouTube channels, community media hubs, schools, churches, cooperatives, and training centers were teaching cocoa and coffee prices in plain language. Imagine if every week farmers and youth could hear, this is the current cocoa price, this is the current coffee price, this is what the international market is doing, this is what the domestic price means, this is what FOB means, this is what CAF means. This is what DLA means. This is how transport affects that number. This is how quality affects the number. This is how moisture affects the number. This is how processing changes the value. This is where the opportunity is. That would change everything because when people understand the numbers, they stop being intimidated by the market. They stop thinking trade is only for people in offices. They stop believing the economy is something that happens to them. They begin to understand that the economy is something they participate in, and eventually something they can help shape. That is community power. Community power is not just shouting. Community power is understanding. Community power is organization. Community power is information. Community power is negotiation. Community power is ownership. Community power is young people learning the language of markets before someone else uses that language against them. This is why media matters, because a market report sitting on a government website is not enough. A price board in an office is not enough. A technical document that most people cannot understand is not enough. Information only becomes power when people can access it, understand it, use it, and share it. That is where media becomes financial literacy. That is where media becomes trade education. That is where media becomes community infrastructure. That is where media becomes protection. Because a farmer who understands pricing is harder to cheat. A cooperative that understands markets is harder to manipulate. A young entrepreneur who understands value chains is more likely to build a business. Community that understands where the money moves can organize around an opportunity. And let's be honest, for too long, too many African communities have been closest to the raw material, but furthest from the information. Closest to the crop, but furthest from the contract. Closest to the labor, but furthest from the pricing power. Closest to the origin, but furthest from the brand. Closest to the value, but furthest from the wealth. That must change, and it can change, but it starts with making the hidden math visible. Let me say that again. We have to make the hidden math visible because when the math stays hidden, the community stays dependent. When the math becomes visible, the community becomes strategic. This is why I believe cocoa and coffee pricing should be taught in schools. It should be taught in agriculture programs. It should be discussed in cooperatives. It should be explained on radio. It should be broken down on podcast. It should be shared on WhatsApp. It should be visualized on posters. It should be explained in all the local languages. It should be used to teach entrepreneurship. It should be used to teach negotiation. It should be used to teach media. It should be used to teach ownership. Because this is not just about cocoa. This is not just about coffee. This is about the future of Cameroon. Cameroon's youth can understand how cocoa moves from farm to global market. They can understand trade. They can understand trade. They can understand business. If they can understand business, they can create companies. They can create companies. They can create jobs. They can create jobs. They can strengthen communities. They can strengthen communities. They can help build a future that does not depend on waiting for outside rescue. That is the bigger vision. Not charity, capacity. Not dependency, understanding. Not confusion, ownership.